All right, so you guys should be able to see that. Yeah, lead generation. So I'm not in any way trying to do this presentation as a hey, let's all go partner on Zillow Dollars or Realtor.com or anything like that. This is more for ideas that I have that I'm currently using in my business that are actually free for you that we could partner on, or I could just help you. And so I'm gonna go through a bunch of different ideas and I want this to be as interactive as possible. You're all muted just so we don't have background noise, but please feel free if you have any questions um, to just ask them, and we can walk through them. We are going to do questions and answers at the end, plus some interactive time. If you want help, I'll stay on after, and then we can kind of walk through things together. So I want to keep this quick since I know everybody's really busy, but three things I wanted to highlight. So sphere of influence is always the best source of leads. Obviously, if we can get a referral from somebody that's warm, it's a lot better than talking to somebody we've never met um, that hasn't heard of us before. Also going to go through some of those online techniques that we have, and then how we can just apply this to our businesses and how I can help. So current and past client referrals, like I said, those are my favorite. Obviously, we're when we're in the middle of a transaction, that's when I start asking for referrals. You know, if we have a really good first meeting, kind of start with some scripting around, you know, throughout the process. Once you start shopping for a loan, throughout the process, you're going to talk about it with friends and family. You know, if anybody else mentions that they're looking to buy or sell a house, can you please keep us in mind? You know, when I'm meeting a client, I bring up the fact that I'm 100% referral based and 100% commission, and realtors are as well. Most first-time home buyers do not understand that, and so I think it's important for them to not only, hey, I'm relying on you. I'm going to take really good care of you. And in return, I'd love it if you could tell people how great of a job I did for you. And that'll just help propel your business. And so just keep that in mind. Most people don't think, oh, I should refer to somebody else. So I have scripting behind that I can share with you guys if you're interested. The word script, I think, is kind of a negative sometimes, but where it's good is to create a script, go through the dialogue with somebody else, you know, a spouse or anybody, and just so it becomes more natural. And then obviously, I'm not reading off the script when I'm sitting face to face with a client, but as you're trying to implement new things, you know, going through it and kind of seeing some, you know, just how your flow goes and make it more natural. So I'd recommend writing one. Like I said, I can share my script with you. Um, and then kind of using it in implementing it through different touch points. So at the first meeting, you know, I kind of lay that groundwork like, hey, my number one job is to impress you, tell you, for you to tell the realtor how awesome I am. Thank you so much for introducing me to Jason. And then we want you to tell all your friends and family how awesome we are. So I kind of lay that groundwork. But as you guys are shopping with them a lot, just say, hey, is there anybody else that you know who's looking to buy or sell? Are they getting this kind of service? You know, especially as you guys are going above and beyond, you know, kind of just reiterating like, hey, are you talking to anybody else? Are they getting the same level? And just trying to, you know, keep planting the seed. Do you know anybody else? Are you talking to anybody else? Because otherwise people will just forget. When you're checking in with past clients, so you know, on our end, we do we do things like annual mortgage reviews, or if we're looking to, you know, as rates started dropping, we kind of listed everybody from highest to lowest for interest rates, and we started checking in with them, letting them know about what was going on. So make sure that you have strategies in your business to do the check-in, and not to be salesy, but you know, this time of year, and I've been talking about it in my Friday and Monday calls, like just checking in on people, make sure that they're okay. Some people are really extroverted, like my wife. She's having a really tough time just not being able to go out and be with her friends, you know, do social activities. I love being at home, so I'm totally okay. So kind of kind of opposites, but just checking in on past clients, especially, you know, if it's a single person or something like that. And that'll go a long way. You're not trying to sell them anything, but again, you're top of mind because you just talked to them, and just trying to add value. Another way that I try and stay top of mind and add value is through birthday cards. You know, you could do a home anniversary, um, presents or cards or whatever, you know, you want to do for your business. But I've gotten a lot of really good feedback. I do a $5 Starbucks gift card. I do a handwritten. So my loan partner, each month she'll put all the cards out that I need to sign for that month. I'll handwrite the note, throw in the $5 gift card, and then we'll mail it off. So really, it's cheap. I mean, it's, you know, less than $10 gift, once a year per client. And I've gotten a lot of really good feedback on that. And just people, oh yeah, I've been meaning to tell you, you know, I'm going to refer my cousin to you or something like that. So again, just trying to stay top of mind, and yeah, kind of take that for, it doesn't have to be birthdays, obviously. It could be whatever you'd like. All right. So another thing with your sphere of influence is, come on, baby. Okay. So knowledge is power, and a lot of our clients want more information. Kind of the hot topic for the last couple of years has been real estate. You know, it's such a crazy market, especially in Spokane. Well, the nation's been really hot, but Spokane's been especially. So a lot of people just want to know things about their house. If they bought in the last couple of years, they want to know things about value. That's why Zillow, in my opinion, is so popular. They came out with the Zestimate, and people have the power to know exactly how much their home is worth. You know, although it's very inaccurate, but they could go on there and say, oh, my house is worth X amount. I bought it for a lot less. So now I have all this equity. It just makes them feel good, to know that. And so there is a program that I have at my disposal. It's called HomeBot. Some of you have already signed up with it, and some of you, what we can do is we can actually, you personally can sign up, and then you can sign up your clients. And so I'm going to walk you through that product. It's free for you to do up to 10 of your clients. If we want to go above 10, it does cost $25 for you and $25 for me. So we'd want to start out with the 10 and just make sure it's going to make sense for your client base, and then we can decide together if we want to spend the money. And so I'm going to share my screen here. So you guys should be able to see that. So this is a version for those of you who haven't seen this yet. So this is what I just created one for myself, what HomeBot looks like. And so this is for my house. Every month, basically the client gets a digest, is what it's called, in their inbox. And it'll just say, here's your updated HomeBot digest. At the top, again, we're talking about value. So people always want to see what their home is worth. So it says right here, not tuned yet. This is all on purpose. So people want to have an idea, okay, my house is worth 328. Great. Well, maybe I think it's worth more than that. So I can click and play around with this tuned value. I can drag it to what I maybe think, or I can click this box right here, want an expert opinion. And so since this is tied to me as the lender, it says that Jason can ask a local agent if this sounds good to you. All of my past clients get this as basically our closing gift to them. I pay for this service on a monthly basis for them. I let them know that it's not free, but it's my gift to them, because I'm trying to add more value. When they click on that expert opinion, it sends me an email and a text message, hey, so-and-so would like a CMA. I reach back out to the realtor who referred them to me. It's another touch point that you get with them. And typically my first question is, okay, well, why do you care about what your value is? Are you looking to sell your house and move up, downsize? Are you looking to refinance? And so that just gets them back in front of you. You know, we've all heard the statistic that, you know, 80% of people don't use the same realtor twice. And so this just allows you to stay in front of them. If you want to use this with your clients, it'll be through me, but separate. And so it won't have my face on it. So at the top, it would have your realtor information. The only time that they would see my information is if they clicked on um, like what option is best for me. Any of these things would go towards me if they're loan related. But if they want to tune their value, that would send you an email asking to give them a CMA. And so again, gives you a great reason to reach back out to the client, excuse me, have a conversation. Hey, why are you worrying about what your house is worth? Maybe they're just curious, maybe they're just playing around. That's totally okay. You get a conversation with them, but in the event that maybe they're looking to buy or sell, well, now you were kind of first back in the door. This website, if you're interested, let me know. I'll sign you up with this. It's very cool to play around with, especially if you're on the number side like me. You know, if they wanted to afford another home, it kind of gives them, here's how much you could afford if you want to buy an investment property. Kind of just some basic numbers based on what they previously purchased. Tells them how much equity they have in the house, if they want to pull some out to make home improvements, add solar panels, uh, rolling credit card debt, things like that. Just trying to give people ideas and information. And then also right here, so if I want to Airbnb my house, this pulls from Airbnb market in my neighborhood, and just says, well, I could get $279 a night for my house. Pretty cool info. I don't know that I'd ever Airbnb mine, but if I live downtown or something, that would be cool to have. Um, and then also at the bottom, it allows them to refer to a friend or family member. If somebody else they think would like to have this HomeBot report, it'd be free for them. So uh, it creates the opportunity to have more referrals. All right. So again, just as many touch points as we can have, it's going to be better. And in the long run, what we're trying to create is just stickier clients, stickier to us, and not be so swayed by the brand new realtor that just moved in on their block, or part of their BNI group or something like that. So all of this is just trying to add value and create more sticky clients. So one thought that I had, I mentioned the annual mortgage review that I go over. You guys could do like an annual real estate review. It doesn't necessarily have to be annually. If there's a big market event, like what's going on with the COVID-19, obviously that's being talked about a lot right now. And a lot of you are doing a really great job on Facebook as to here's what they're projecting for home values, or here's why this is not a 2008 when it comes to home values. um, I think it would be a great opportunity to call all of your past clients and say, hey, you're probably worried about this, or if you're curious, here's some information I'd love to share with you. Again, just another a good time to check in with them and have that touch point. um, Also, some of them may be thinking about selling, and maybe they're holding off right now until all of this goes back to normal, quote unquote. So you can kind of explain where our market's at as far as inventory goes, and why it's still a good time to sell right now. And there's still a lot of buyers out there that are looking to buy, and so it's a great time, and they could potentially, depending on why they need to sell, could still be a great time, and they don't need to necessarily be scared about it. All right. So the next topic I want to go over is some more online lead gen. So the HomeBot is more of a sphere of influence, organic. But with the online lead gen, what we're going to do is look at a couple of different things. And some of you, again, have seen some of this, but not all. So Lead Pops is a company that we partner with, Fairway, and then I have a contract with them as well. And basically what it allows us to do, it allows us to, there's a couple things. So the first thing on the top here is to do sticky bars is what they're called. And so at the top of a website, if you've ever seen this banner, and then this little orange "Get Started Now" actually shakes at the top, that's called a sticky bar. So you can stick it at the top or the bottom. And it's it's obviously shaking to try and get clients to click on it. And so we can create, this example says want to get approved for a home loan in San Diego. We could add in Spokane there. We can make that say whatever we want it to say, and we can put this on whatever website we want to, as long as you have access to it. So depending on your company's policy, you could ask them if on your personal page within theirs, if you're allowed to add this. We basically just give you the scripting, they give it to their web developer, and they can add it on super easy. So basically what it does is it walks the client through. If they click on that, it takes them to a funnel that looks similar to something like this. So I knew, like Bryce and Kelly, you were going to be on this. So we did one for the Peterson Property Group. So this is what the landing page would look like for their funnel. And let's see if you get pre-approved. So you can type in your zip code, and it's going to walk me through. If you've ever looked at Zillow long form leads, the same creator of those created these. And so it's going to take me through 15 questions and asking me, oh, what are you looking to buy? Single family? Where's your credit score at? Is this your first property purchase? Where are you at in the process? Are you looking to buy in 2 to 6 months? Do you already have a contract? And this bar keeps moving across, trying to keep people going. And basically, I'll skip down here. So when it comes in, we can have the lead sent to typically myself and the realtor that we're partnering with. This is all the information that we get. So it's a lot more, and the clients are typically a lot more serious if they're going to go through all of those questions than just filling out name and phone number and email address on like the bottom of your website where it says, contact me type of thing. And so these are really good leads. And why we want to put them on your website is because there's been a lot of studies done where clients will actually be on your website looking. If you have a home search portion of your site, you can, some clients actually were like, well, I'd like to search for homes, but I should get pre-approved first. So then if you don't have an ability for them to get pre-approved through your site, then you have the potential to lose them because they could go talk to another lender, and that lender could refer them to a realtor. So depending on how they landed on your page, it's a smaller percentage that will do that, but it's still a percentage. So this is a free option for you guys to just capture that small percentage that you might be missing out on. And the numbers are just going to depend on the traffic. It's completely RESPA compliant, and really this ready buyers is what I want. Is they're not people who are just kicking the tire or who have bankruptcies. If they do, we can see that very quickly, and then we can, I'm the one that's going to be working them, so I can filter those first. And that's one of the benefits too, is it can save you time on the lead side, because then you don't have to have the time to have the phone call. Because legally, if you get a lead in, you have to call them, get their approval for me to call them. If I call them directly, there's actually people who make a living suing loan companies because they try and set us up to do that. So it's very important that you talk to the client first. But in these, it's actually co-branded and it's my site, so I can legally call them first because it asks for their approval before that. So these are just some of the numbers for the close rates on these that they're showing. And so depending on the traffic, obviously, the number of transactions that you can get out of it trickles down quite a bit. But again, we're trying to pick up that small percentage of people who leave your website and go somewhere else to get pre-approved. And then this just kind of walks you through the other stages that I just showed you. So we can co-brand this with anybody. We can make the top say whatever we like. We can put your logo on it. And then it walks them through all the questions. All right. What you can also do, so if you want to run Facebook ads, let me go back to.
Hey, Jason.
So like, Yeah.
On these lead pops, can this be added to like emails?
Yep.
For like,
Yeah. So yeah, good question. So this is what I was just gonna say. So this is just a website. So you can add this anywhere basically. And if somebody clicks on it, it will take them to this landing page, and then they can start the funnel. And so it doesn't. Yeah, you could stick it anywhere. I've put these in Facebook ads, and you can copy and paste it in the Facebook, and then it will come up with the little image preview. And then if you wanted to run a Facebook ad, Facebook's pretty stringent on running these types of things through compliance. So it takes a couple of days, but I've done it before and gotten a lot of clicks. But Facebook's not a high conversion rate, so just kind of know that going into it. But on the back end, we can see in my portal, I can see how many people have clicked on it, if they filled out all of the information, and then we can keep track of the stats on it. But yeah, you can copy and paste this link anywhere that you want. You can put it in emails. Um, you could put it as your email signature. You could put, hey, click here to get pre-approved, and then it would take them to this site. One thing I do want to, I've had some of my partners use this. It doesn't do an application and it doesn't pull credit. So if you have a client ready to do an application, we'll talk about other options for that. This is not for that. This is just to capture client information and try and get the conversation started. Because if we talk to them, we still need to start an application and pull credit. So just, yeah, depends on what you're trying to do. But if you're just trying to get client info and names to contact, this is a good way to do it without pressuring them into pulling their credit. And you could do Google ads. It doesn't have to be Facebook. It could be any sort of ad that you want to run. I was also going to talk about Google Business Page. I'm not going to spend a lot of time today on it. A lot of you have a Google Business Page. If you don't, reach out to me. I'm happy to walk you through it. It's super easy to do. And I don't know what it's been, but in the last month, I've got 3 leads from my Google page, just people Googling. I don't even know what they're Googling. I just ask them, hey, how did you get my name? And they'll say, oh, I was just, Googling mortgages in Spokane, and it came up. So one thing that I'm really focusing on this year is my Google reviews. And so I think that's helping part of it. And so the more reviews you can get, the higher in their search engine you're going to go. I'm not even trying to pretend like I know about SEO or any of that, but it definitely doesn't hurt. And you want your business page somewhere trying to collect reviews. If somebody has a Gmail account, they already have an account with Google, so it's super easy for them to leave you a review. And it could just be another thing, if you're asking for Zillow reviews or Realtor.com or whatever, you could add the Google on there as well. And it's free. I mean, that's the biggest thing for me is there's $0 in it. They host your site basically, and so what I would recommend is Google yourself. What comes up? Like, what's the top 3 hits? And are they real estate related? Is it easy to find you? I often, if I'm calling listing agents when I put in an offer and I try and Google, Bryce Crooks Spokane, and if I can't find your cell phone, well, how is it gonna find it, right? So I know you guys don't want a ton of spam calls, but you also want people to be able to contact you easily, right? Or can't buy a house. So just keep that in mind. And I would, most people Google everything. At least I do. All right. So that was pretty much it. I wanted to go over, those main topics, and I didn't want to overload you. We do have more ideas and more things that we can dive further. Those are kind of the basics that I want. If you want to in your business to implement, I can do for you. All of what I mentioned is also free, which I said before. So I know right now there's a lot of uncertainty, so I'm definitely not trying to increase anybody's marketing budget. These are all free options. All they take is a little bit of time. So please let me know if you would like any links that I talked about, if you want me to set up any of these co-branding, just reach out to me privately, or, you know, I'll stay on a little bit after this call too, and we can discuss kind of a plan going forward. So just let me know kind of what you're interested in. If you have any ideas, you know, around any of these, then we can talk through those as well. And if you didn't have all my contact info there, we got to throw that on there. So there's all my contact info too. And thank you all for coming. I appreciate taking the time out of your day. I was trying to keep it short and sweet, right at 30 minutes. And so get you guys back to doing what you were doing before.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Jason.
thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason. Sorry I was late.
Oh, it's all good, Tim.